we were in the B studio working on our mixtape called Highly Anticipated. And in the A studio was N9ne and Chris and Cut. And they're working on, I think, Misery Loves Company or something like that. And, I've always been like, I'm going to introduce myself, I'm going to speak, I'm going to push my line. Like, that's just how I am. So I would kind of...
How did you come into contact with Tay?
So I have, it's like a big brother to me. His name is Punch. Mm-hmm. And he was like a multimillionaire at 20 something early on. And he was into tech and video game design, computer software, stuff like that. And we went to church together, and him being like the big bro, he's like 5-6 years older. I gave him a mixtape. No, I didn't. I don't think I even gave him a mixtape because I never would give my music to people at church. I kind of like kept it
separate.
Some kind of way he found out, or his little brother told him what I was doing. He heard it. He was like, I want to put some money behind you. The first person ever, really the only person, like, put some money behind me. And I'm like 16. So he starts having me fly out in like early on A&R, artist development. Mm-hmm. So he's sending me to Atlanta to work with like some of T-Pain's producers. I'm doing the Kentucky Derby. I'm like missing school to go like perform with Ludacris and all that. And I'm taking the homies with me. And he also put me in Chapman Recording. Mm-hmm. So the old Chapman used to be on Wyandotte Street, right downtown. Mm-hmm. Rest in peace, Chuck Chapman, great dude. But yeah, so it's like $75-$80 an hour, and he's got me in there with Rob Rebeck in a big dog studio. Yeah, and I got the whole block with me, so it's like 8 of us, like all these kids in the studio, because I just, my mentality is like I want to bring everybody with me. Mm-hmm. So we were in the B studio working on our mixtape called Highly Anticipated, and in the A studio was N9ne and Chris and Cut, and they're working on, I think, Misery Loves Company or something like that. And, I've always been like, I'm going to introduce myself, I'm going to speak, I'm going to push my line. Like, that's just how I am. So I would kind of peek my head out to see what was going on. Okay, cool. All right, Cut, about to go downstairs, smoke a cigarette. Okay, cool. I'm about to go downstairs too. So I go downstairs, introduce myself to Cut. He's smoking a cigarette. And he's kind of like shocked, like, what these little niggas doing in Chapman's? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, this is the best studio in the city. Right. And I had him come up, listen to some more stuff. Cut liked it, and then he said, "Well, come on over here." And brought me over to the A studio, and I go in there, introduce myself to everybody, and again they're like, "This nigga 16, 17 in the big dog studio." And it's like, okay, cool. And Cut did a verse for me. Mm-hmm. So Cut did a verse for me, and then kind of just kept building a relationship, and eventually approached Travis about learning how to run a label, because they would see me at all the shows, all the meet and greets. Me and my guys was out there handing out CDs. Sometimes they try to run us off, but we'll still come back and hand out CDs.
Real quick, about what year was this?
This is probably 2000 and it was a few years. It was probably 2006 and 7. Okay. But yeah, so they would see us selling our CDs in the city. They would hear our names. They see like, you little dudes are really out here with it. And eventually I just told Trav, like, hey, I could be out here with y'all posters and y'all CDs too, but I just want to learn, how do I run an independent label? So I'm interning. I just want to learn. So, from there, he was like, okay, cool. Gave me a few different little missions. I go out there. We stapled I don't know if you remember, but it used to be posters, staple, and ran all the way up the light pole to the top.
Of course, of course. Yeah.
I was out there doing that.
You staple them together, then push it up. Keep doing it, push it up. Yeah.
And I did that all the way from Blue Springs to Wyandotte to just at the whole metro. And after doing that so long, it's like, okay, cool. We got this thing called a CD hustler. Yeah. Because Strange would do this thing where before the show, to have guys go out with a duffel bag full of CDs, like, hey, I got that new, I got new tech, I got the new Chris, I got da-da-da, and we sell them hand to hand. So, the masters of merch game, for sure.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely.
So I would do that, and I was putting up numbers then. And I, just doing that, and it would be a couple cities where, you know, because before this tour, I would follow like just bigger tours and sleep in my car and sell CDs behind it. You know what I'm saying? So every now and again, some of the fans would be like, "You Irv Da Phenom, I got your mixtape like a couple weeks ago." So that'd be cool. And
this is why you're on tour with
this
Tech.
is while I'm out there as a CD hustler.
Okay, CD hustler.
I'm just selling merch.
Okay,
I'm just CD hustler.
Got you.
So, you know, one night I was talking to Chris because I knew Chris Calico through roller skate.
Yep.
So he would roller skate with us, and he was, I don't know, I was playing him something, and then Tech came from the back of the bus. I didn't know Tech was on the bus. But he's like, "Who's this?" And Chris was like, "Oh yeah, this is Irv." He said, "Nigga, you ain't supposed to be selling CDs. You supposed to be making music with us." So like, I was hype as hell. I got off the bus, called my girl. "That nigga, I told you making music with them." So shit. As soon as we got back to the city, we started working, and then you know, everything kind of just developed over that. But it just started off with me wanting to learn how to run an indie label, and just putting in sweat equity.
Okay, so let me ask you. So you were able to tour with Tech and Strange, right? So you actually you opened for him?
Yeah. Okay. I started as a CD hustler, then did like some tours with them, and then eventually got on stage with Chris Calico as like his hype man. But I have a little set in his stuff too because we both rap, we both sing, we both can move on stage. So there's like, man, y'all be perfect together. So yeah.
What kept you from signing with Strange?
I just feel like I had a different path. I truly feel like God had a different path for me, and that's all it was. I just pursued things my way, and you know, a lot of people like, man, I would do this, I would do that, and like everybody's path ain't the same.
That's
you know
right.
What I'm saying?
That's
so I trust in what God has for me, and it's continued to play out and show me that, you know.
Do you prefer to be independent and front your own racket opposed to being, you know, plugged into a Strange music or a label?
I'm not opposed to being plugged into a label because your music's going to reach more people. You know what I mean? So each side has its pros and cons. So I never would shut down like a label or anything. I'm just doing what I got to do. Like I can't stop until I get to a label. So I still continue to release music because I would be recording these records whether or not anybody heard them. So, and it's also part of like keep shooting them jumpers. You know what I'm saying? Like
getting your reps in.
Yeah, just getting the reps in. So yeah, it's pros and cons to both, but
so you never told me who your local influences were. Like who you was rocking with in the city and who do you rock with in the city musically?
It was Tech, it was Lee Joe.
Rest in peace to Lee Joe.
Man,
that was the homie.
Rest in peace, Lee Joe.
Real quick, let me tell a little funny story about Lee Joe. Just because, you know, we on the national platform now. So I got to educate, you know, the crowd.
Yeah, this is Kansas City history.
You know, this Kansas City history. Listen, shout out to the homie Lee Joe. Rest in peace. I met Lee Joe. I met them at Castle Records. Shout out to Dominic. Rest in peace to him as well. Dominic was a player, you know, hustler from the KC side. He was older than us, had finger waves and shit, you know what I'm saying? You know, had the rope and everything. So this is about 90, maybe 91, but I want to say about 90. They had a studio on 31st and Prospect.